Hey, what's good, y'all? This is Trey. Welcome to this presentation. The topic is how to overcome your fear of approaching women in 21 days. Right? The reason I'm making this presentation is because I found that this is a problem, a challenge that a lot of men have. This not being able to approach women because there's a fear, there's an anxiety that comes up at the thought of approaching a woman. Okay, so I've personally put myself in front of women, like, walked up to strangers, women that I don't know. So it's called cold approach pickup, basically approaching a woman that you don't know. I've done this thousands of times, okay? Last year, 2020, during coronavirus, I was approaching women, okay, with the mask on or whatever. And I was getting results, right? I got to a point where I was getting around 3 dates per week during COVID-19 when everyone was saying it wasn't working. People were going on dating apps, stuff like that. I was getting women by cold approaching, okay? So obviously I was able to overcome the fear of approaching women at a high level because I was doing it while there was a pandemic going on, okay? So I'm gonna basically show you how you can overcome your fear of approaching women in 21 days. It doesn't have to take a long time. If you have a system that you're following, and you're consistently following this system, and you're focused not on getting the women, you don't want to focus on that. It's going to fuck with your head. Focus on overcoming your fear of approaching women throughout those 21 days. By the end of the 21 days, if you follow this system, you'll be good. All right. So what is some of the because obviously I've went out and I've approached thousands of women and I found, okay, there's some challenges when it comes to doing this. Okay, so the first thing is approaching women consistently, right? Because if you're afraid of approaching women, maybe you'll have some days where you can do it, but then other days it's like, I don't know, man, the fear is too intense, or the anxiety is too intense, the nervousness is too intense. So what I found is you want to, obviously, the way I went about it is through exposure therapy. So you want to overcome the fear by exposing yourself to it. But you expose yourself to it in a small dose, right? Like in an amount that you can handle. Not when it's like, you want to put a number scale. So maybe when you approach a woman you find attractive, maybe on the fear scale from 1 to 10, maybe you feel that's like an 8 or a 9 or a 10. So don't start there. Start where you're like, more closer to a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So I talk about this in some of my older videos. When I just started like working on myself and working on my game and my ability to pick up women, I started off by talking to old ladies. I started off by talking to old men. I started off by talking to, anybody, right? Because my whole thing was I wanted to, like, my problem was I was trying to get over this whole shy thing, right? So it was, for me, it was like, okay, get over the shyness. Because I wasn't even too much worried about picking up women. Like, yeah, I wanted to, but I was like I had enough sense to know, okay, if you can't even say hi to a girl, it's gonna be very difficult to pick her up. So I just focused on overcoming that fear, and I did it little by little. I started where I was. Instead of sitting at home and just making excuses and bullshitting myself, I said, okay, let me go out and try this. And I tried to approach women I found attractive. I found myself walking around in circles for hours, not being able to talk to anybody. Okay, so instead of, wasting my time, I said, okay, realistically, it's better to talk to anyone than to not talk to no one. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just work my way up. So started talking to some old ladies, whatever. Hey, how you doing? Or ask them for directions or whatever, and they'll talk to you and you'll have conversation. You know what I mean? You start to get the vibes going or whatever. Start to get some social momentum. And then I raise it up. So I start talking to, maybe a decent looking lady or whatever, and, keep working my way up. But the key was consistency. That's why I said, in 21 days, you could do this in 21 days, but you got to be consistent throughout those 21 days. You got to hit those days. You can't be starting and stopping, in and out, 1 step forward, 2 step back. No, consistency, right? So, doing a 21-day challenge, you tell yourself, okay, I'm gonna start off by approaching 5 people a day, not 5 women. Because if you have a fear of approaching women, you need to work your way up to approaching women. If the fear is intense, if it's a high level, as you get very anxious, you have approach anxiety, Work your way up. Start with some old ladies. Start with talking to just, guys, maybe whatever you're comfortable with, and then slightly increase the discomfort, right? So, if you on a number scale, like, of how attractive a woman is, if you have a 1 to 10, don't start at 10, don't start at 9, don't start at 8. Like, go up to women that you would say are maybe like around 6 or 7, right? And this is just being real. You got to be real with yourself. Like, you have to put your ego aside and put all this bullshit aside and just say, do you want to overcome this challenge or not? Do you want to overcome this problem? This is a problem. Not being able to approach a woman, to me, is very strange. You should be able to approach a woman without, like, you can't move, or, you know what I mean? And I'm not making fun of it, because that used to be me. I used to be afraid to approach women. I used to get choked up. I remember going up to a girl one time. I mean, it's happened more than once, but just one specifically I remember, because I thought the girl was really attractive. Went up to her, and then I literally froze. Like, I forgot what I was going to say, and I think I just walked away or some shit. But it's that commitment. I was like, okay, I was willing to have those awkward, embarrassing experiences because I had a goal. I had a vision. I had something I would set my mind on, in the future. Like, okay, in the future, I want to be this way. I want to create this beingness. I want to be comfortable talking to women. I want to have confidence. I want to be I didn't know about the term grounded, but now I wanted to be grounded. I wanted to be able to have great experiences and interactions with women. But if you are afraid, if you are fearful, if you are anxious, if you are nervous, you're not going to be able to enjoy those moments. And so what I'm suggesting is gradually exposing yourself to the fear, like, little by little, okay? Starting by just talking to anyone, literally anyone. Because as I said, when I just started out, I was focusing on talking to attractive women, and I would find myself walking around in circles. Like, if I went to a mall or a grocery store, whatever, just keep walking around, like, just hesitating, just talking to myself in my head, you know what I mean? Not knowing what to say, not knowing what to do. Man, I would, and just, like, being paralyzed, right? So instead of that and all that pressure on yourself, oh, I gotta get a hot girl or an attractive girl, just chill out and just say, you know what, I'm just gonna go and talk to some people. And when I went about it this way, you'll naturally find yourself wanting to talk to attractive women as you build up that social momentum. You start to feel more comfortable in the environment. You start to feel more comfortable in your skin. You start to want to express yourself, because you're in a good vibes. You're having some conversation with different people. You might meet some positive people. Like, I've approached some old ladies that have some good conversations with them. You know what I mean? Like, there's some old ladies, I approached an old lady, and I may have approached an attractive girl that day, and I had a better interaction with the old lady than the girl that was so attractive, right? You'll get to have these interesting experiences, and your mind will be open to what's possible. Like, you wouldn't even know, like, some of these great experiences you can have just by getting out your comfort zone, going and talking to people. Not just beautiful women, not just women you find attractive, like, people in general, bro. Like, men, women, you know what I mean? Maybe approaching people that you normally wouldn't, talking to people that you normally wouldn't, people that you weren't raised around, you know what I mean? Maybe people with different cultures and stuff like that, and have these experiences. And this is actually what builds your character, makes you more attractive, right? But without you even focusing on that, that's going to happen naturally. Like, there's certain benefits that come with you deciding you're going to overcome this fear of approaching women. It's a lot of different benefits that come with it. You know what I mean? Your social skills will improve. You'll become more masculine because you're being assertive. You're going after something, right? You're going after a goal, and you're facing a challenge, and you're stepping up to the challenge. You're saying, look, I'm afraid of approaching women, but I'm going to do something about it, and I'm going to go on a 21-day challenge. The reason I say 21-day challenge, they say it takes 21 days to build a habit. You're building this habit of being able to approach women. But as I say, you want to start small. Start where you are. Approach who you can. Talk to who you can and build your way up. But stay consistent throughout those 21 days. I tried a 100-day challenge, 90-day challenge. That's kind of long, bro. I ain't gonna front. That's pretty long, right? Like, to do on your own. Like, if you had some accountability partner or something, it's a little easier. But to go 90 days on your own, that's tough. So do 21-day challenge. You should be able to do that at least, right? That's 3 weeks, not that long. Commit to 21 days. Guarantee you, if you stay consistent in those 21 days, your fear level is going to decrease. Now, I'm saying that you can overcome your fear of approaching women, meaning you'll be able to approach women comfortably, right? Like in a comfortable manner, right? You'll be able to approach women in a grounded manner. You'll be able to approach women with confidence. I'm saying that you can get to that point in 21 days. However, you'd have to be following my process, right? So you can go out there and do your own thing. Like I said, just start small, work your way up, and you will find that your fear is going to be reduced. But I've done thousands of approaches. You see what I'm saying? Like I've approached thousands of women. And so I've created my own little system that has worked to allow me to overcome my fear of approaching women. Now, to be honest with you, I keep my shit sharp, meaning I make sure that, I'm talking to women on a consistent basis because I don't want to lose that skill. It's a very nice ability to have where you can literally walk up to a woman and be comfortable and interact with her and not be like super awkward, nervous, and all that stuff. It's great to have that ability. And so it's something that I maintain. But the truth is, if I stop doing it, the same way how if you work out and you stop working out, you will lose that muscle. You will lose that skill or whatever it is. And so when it comes to picking up women, there's been times in my life where I built up this confidence and then I stopped doing it, right? Maybe I got a girlfriend or maybe I started a business or something happened. So I stopped. And then I tried to do it again, like after I stopped, and I found myself back in this nervous, oh gosh, she's so attractive. I don't know if I can approach it. Like I found myself back in that place. And then I did my 21-day challenge and boom, I was back to where I needed to be. Like I was able to get the dates again. I was able to get the abundance going again and boom. So this 21-day challenge will get you right, bro. If you just focus for 21 days, consistently taking action towards overcoming this fear of approaching women. Like I said, it's okay to start small. You don't have to go, I'm gonna approach 50 women, getting like super motivated and then crashing. Like that's not the way to go about it. You want to gradually build this character, this strength in your character, this ability to approach women comfortably. Right? This is something that a lot of men struggle with, but no man likes to go around admitting, hey man, I'm scared of approaching women. But I mean, it's, I've seen it personally. Like I've seen, I used to have different wingmans and stuff like that that come out and I see how men get very nervous and anxious around women. And then, obviously that turns off the woman and then she's, she rejects him and then he thinks it didn't work. Not that it didn't work. I mean, you turned her off literally by demonstrating this nervous energy, right? It's not an attractive thing, for someone to walk up to you and they're super nervous. You're like, okay, why are they nervous, And it just feels weird, especially if you got your shit going on. Like, if the girl's busy or whatever, she's in the mall shopping or whatever, you walk up nervous, she's like, okay, this is a waste of my time. Just being honest. Like, if you're doing your shit, someone walks up to you and they don't have no confidence in themselves and they look nervous and look fearful and all that shit, it's like, yo, bro, I'm busy right now. You know what I mean? So you just got to be real about the shit. And, but like I said, if you commit to this 21-day challenge, you could definitely, overcome your fear of approaching women, right? And if you get to the end of the 21 days and you still haven't overcome your fear, guarantee you'll notice there's a lot less fear. So logically, if you think about it, just do another 21-day challenge. But this time, make changes based on your experience for the last 21 days. Like, what can you do differently this time? What parts of, your character do you need to work on more? What things are you more afraid? Like, when I do these 21-day challenges, you find different things that you avoid. Maybe you're okay approaching a woman, like a single woman that's by herself, but maybe a group, you're afraid of a group. So next time you do the 21-day challenge, you focus on groups. You say, okay, I'm going to work on my ability to approach women that are in groups, right? And you start off small. You just go up and maybe just walk up and maybe just give eye contact and walk away. Start where you can, right? If it's very difficult or you experience a lot of anxiety at the idea of going up and having a full-on conversation with the whole entire group, don't start there. Work your way up to that. Start off by just saying hello. Start off by just asking for direction. Start off by just asking for the time. Start off by just making a statement. Maybe just say, oh, it's a beautiful day today, isn't it? Or whatever. Or, you know, if you're in the mall, you know, maybe just ask, hey, do you know what time the mall closes? Or, do you know where such and such store is? Right? It's just you working on, you know, because it's like, it's tension, it's anxiety, it's nervousness, it's fear. There's levels to it, and you want to work your way up to the level, right? It's very similar to working out. When you just start out working out, you don't go for the heavy weight right away. You know, you work your way up to the heavy weight. You're doing push-ups. You're not able to do 500 push-ups right away, but you work your way up. You get to a point you do 500 push-ups. Same thing when it comes to approaching women. Like, you have that fear of approaching women, but you start where you are, you work your way up, and you can get to a point where you can, with confidence, walk up to a woman, express yourself authentically, and even get to a point where you can lead them, right? Where you have so much confidence, you're like, hey, I'm going over here, you should come along, you know? But there's levels, and the great thing about it is you could work your way up. You know, you just got to be committed. You just got to make your mind up. Look, I want to get to a certain level, and I'm willing to do what's necessary. And you don't have to overwhelm yourself, as I'm saying. Just do a 21-day challenge. Keep it simple. Keep it, you know, something that you can actually do, not something that's going to overwhelm you. And just stay consistent. You're going to build it up properly. You know, you're going to build a strong foundation, and then you can go from there and start setting these other goals. Okay, I want to start getting some women. I want to start going on some dates, right? All right. So that's the process, man. Let me see if I can give you any other tips on how to make this more effective. If you can get an accountability partner, that's great. Someone to that you can go out with and work on this challenge with. Somebody you can trust and be real with, and you both can bring your two different perspectives to the situation. Because sometimes when you go out and approach women and work on that, you're only gonna see what you're seeing, and it's gonna be biased, right, based on whatever emotions you have going on, or whatever situation you're in, or experiences or beliefs and all these things. You have your own perspective, and you may have some blind spots. It's good to have a wingman if possible. If not, it's still better for you to it's still good for you to go out on your own. You'll learn a lot by doing it on your own. But like I said, it is cool if you can get a wingman or get someone to hold you accountable. Let's see if I can give you another tip on it. Start off small. So instead of like, oh, I'm gonna go and approach 30 women, or I'm going to approach the baddest girls in the mall or whatever. Keep it small. Start off small. Like, even me, like, if I stop approaching women for some time, I can get back into this like introverted, like antisocial mode. That it can happen. And when that happens, and I want to get back into, okay, you know, the guy that approaches women and is confident, all that shit, I work my way up. I don't let my ego come in and say, oh, man, I already, you know, I get these women. I don't need to work my way up. I just go right in. You know, if that's how I'm feeling, I'll do that. But there's a lot of times, like, if I have not been going out, I mean, right now I'm going out, I'm doing my thing. But in those times where I'm, you know, not going out and I'm focused on my business or whatever, something's going on and I'm not able to go and really interact with women like that, I can get into this zone where it's like I'm just not really that, you know, feeling socially savvy or whatever, right? And so when I go out, instead of like having this big ego of, oh, I can just jump right back in, I don't do that, right? I work my way up, right? Because I done handled my ego, right? Like, once you go through this process, you realize, like, yo, it will humble you. It will humble you. You will see that, you know, if you want this ability, you have to pay your dues, right? You have to earn it. This ability to approach women with confidence and express yourself authentically, if you don't currently have it, you have to earn it. And what I'm saying is, it's not very difficult to earn, right? It's actually a natural thing. I believe it's natural for a man to be able to approach a woman with comfort and confidence, but for whatever reason, we're not in that natural state. And so you can get back to it by doing it, right? Just by doing it and building it up, gradually working up. You'll figure it out. You're smart enough. You know what I mean? You don't have to overwhelm yourself and try to be a beast right away. It's like, work your way up, okay? And so let me just break down one more time the whole process. Do a 21-day challenge, okay? Say, my goal is to overcome my fear of approaching women, okay? That's the challenge for 21 days. Then you say, okay, how many women are you going to approach on a daily basis? Because for the 21-day challenge to work, you have to be consistent throughout the entire 21 days. You can't be in and out, in and out, in and out. That's not going to work. So 21 days, you say, okay, I'm going to talk to 5 women a day for 21 days. Okay, and know exactly what you're gonna say before you go out. You don't want to go out and wing it, because when you go out and try to wing it, you're gonna be emotional and stuff like that. Like the emotion that you're in when you're at your crib, when you're at your place, you're more comfortable, you're more relaxed, whatever. When you go out into the environment, whether you're going to a mall or grocery store, wherever you're going, your emotion's gonna change because it's different energy, it's a different vibe. You know what I mean? You're going in a different place. It's not your living room, it's not your bedroom or whatever. So your energy is going to change. So you need to decide what you're going to do before you go out there, so you don't have your emotions trying to fight you and shit like that. So you just know you have clarity. Okay, I'm going out. I'm going to go up to 5 women and say hello, and then I'm going to leave. Right now you have full clarity, and you don't have to hesitate and know what to say and what to do. No, you just go out, know what you're going to do, say, boom, do what you did, come back in, and you win, right? You win as long as you do what you said you were going to do. You win. It's not about how the girl reacts to you. It's not about none of that stuff, because we're not focusing on that. The focus is overcoming the fear of approaching women. Then we move on to the next goal after we've accomplished that. And so that's how I went about it. I had the patience and the discipline to say, okay, yes, I want to have attractive women in my life. I want to get these dates. I want to have these relationships. Yes, but first we have to overcome this fear of approaching women. We have to get over the first step. If you can't approach a woman if you approach a woman and you're feeling nervous and anxious and all this stuff, she's going to feel that too. She's gonna see it. It's gonna be visible on your body language, in your communication, in your voice, in your demeanor, and it's unattractive, bro. Like, maybe you might get lucky and some girl might think it's cute, but most girls, they're doing their thing, man. They're living their life, and it's like, you come up and you're nervous and you're awkward or whatever. To be honest with you, you're interrupting her life. Like the same way if you were doing your thing, if you were handling your shit and then someone came up to you and they were like shaking and, hello, how you doing? Like, yeah, if you're a nice guy, you probably say, oh yeah, how you doing or whatever. But when you be real with yourself, it's like, yo, bro, like, I'm doing my shit, bro. Like, you're kind of interrupting. And that's just the reality of it. So just understand, okay, don't get down on yourself if a girl walks past you or ignores you or rejects you. Just know that you have a goal in mind and you're working towards a goal and you're going through the process. And enjoy the process. Laugh. When you get rejected, just laugh. Oh, that's hilarious. Whatever. No big deal. Like, it's part of life, right? Every no gets you closer to a yes. But as I said, in the beginning, we're not even focusing on that. Literally, all we're focusing on is executing on what you said you were gonna do. If you said you're gonna do approach a certain amount of women, just make sure you do that. Then you win, right? That's the win, okay? And at the end of the 21 days, as long as you do what you said you were gonna do, you're gonna build up that confidence, You're gonna build up that mental toughness. You're gonna build up that discipline. You're gonna build up that masculine energy, that groundedness. And it will be very obvious. You'll be like, okay, yeah, I feel different. Yeah, I'm a lot more confident. It's easier for me to approach women. Okay, and then from there, you can either set a new goal or you can continue the 21-day challenge, right? Increase it. All right? So that's how you do it, man. Now, like I said, you could just take this and go with it and start doing it on your own. But as I said, I have my own process, right? This is me, literally, I started in 2012. What are we at now? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so over 9 years, I've been kind of doing this whole going out approaching women. There was kind of different periods where I had business stuff going on, so maybe I stopped for a certain period. But for the most part, like over 9 years, I've been approaching women and just working on this skill, this cold approach skill, right? To be honest with you, I kind of ignored the social circle game. I ignored the dating apps game, and I just focused on cold approach because that's what I vibe with. My personality, it just works for me, and that's just my thing. And so I was able to find different things that work, and I was able to find a 21-day challenge that any man, if you come to me and you say, hey man, I want to overcome this fear of approaching women, I say, okay, well, here's what you got to do. So you don't even have to worry about, oh, what do I do? And then I have a program where I tell you what to do. So I give you the steps, what you do for the 21 days, and then I hold you accountable, right? So now you have me in your corner, basically helping you to stay consistent in your actions. And then I'll help you, reflect on your actions and see, okay, this is what's working. How can you improve this? How can you get better? You know what I mean? Basically, we'll be in communication. I'll be helping you, supporting you on your journey in this 21 days, okay? And then from there, you overcome this fear of approaching women. We can go into the next steps, right? We can go into the next steps. But at first, it starts with you becoming a man. Like a man that can, it's very strange to me if a man can't approach women, you know what I mean, without being like super nervous. That's not, I don't think that's very cool, you know what I mean? But I'm saying this because I was once at a point where I couldn't do it. And I thought it was pretty lame, to be honest. That's why I worked on it and overcame it. Because I was like, I don't want to be the dude that can't walk up to a woman and without being like super nervous and can't speak and all that shit. I was like, yo, I got to do something about this. All right, so if you're interested in the program, hit me up. Also, if you're not in the Sexy Beast Tribe, I'll post a link on below this video so you can get inside the group. Inside the group, I teach you how to become more grounded in your masculinity as a man, how to express yourself authentically, and how to be a leader, how to lead in your life, like go after your goals, go after your purpose with masculine energy. Also how to lead when you're interacting with women. Like you set the frame, okay, I'm a masculine man, I lead. And women like that, man. They like when a man knows what he's doing. He's on his purpose, he has a goal, he has a vision, and he's moving forward and he's leading. He's not like waiting, he's not following her or chasing her. He's doing this shit, right? All right, that's the video. See you in the next one. Peace.